Going on, Dodger fans? It's Matt here with my brother Ryan, and today we're going to be talking about Gavin Stone, who this year has had 7 starts, thrown 38 innings, has a 3.5 ERA with 27 strikeouts, and that doesn't really paint the perfect picture because through this year he started off pretty slow. Through his first 4 starts, he had a 6 ERA, and here we are in May. Now it's down to 3.5, and in May he actually has a 1.38 ERA. So looking at the 7 starts, it's pretty clear he has 3 bad ones, a couple okay ones where it's 6 innings and 2 runs, and he's been dominant so far in his past 3 starts. He's gone 7 innings, 6 innings, and 7 innings, and he's given up just 3 runs in the process. And yeah, he's been great, and I think it's something. He's a very interesting player because he started off as he was like a massive prospect, like a truly like he's our guy. He's a great pitcher, top 100 guy, and he came up in 2023 last season and he really struggled. Like he was very bad. His I think his ERA was in the nines. And so Dodger fans kind of got off the hype train, and it was this thing where this season we're kind of like, and let's see what we get. Maybe he can be a 5 starter. I think the all-star ceiling was kind of off of him, and I don't really know why. Me myself included. I wasn't expecting an all-star. And I think a big reason was the fact there was another rookie by the name of Bobby Miller who had that fascinating stuff, who was very good as a rookie and was our game 2 starter. I think that I mean it took a lot of pressure off Stone, but also took the hype off of Stone.
Yeah.
And so far this year he's been really good recently. And another interesting thing is he has yet to have a game with double-digit strikeouts. And for me, I think that's okay. He's not a high strikeout guy. He's a control guy. He's efficient, and he doesn't give up a lot of runs. So yeah, have you been impressed with Stone? What are your expectations of Stone? How do you feel about him?
Yeah, I mean, definitely been impressed with the way changed his game up. You mentioned the walks, and it's very important. I want to re-emphasize how important it is. Um, he has thrown 7 fewer innings from April to May, which is like the biggest split. April 4.5 ERA, May 2 starts, but it's a 1.38 ERA. And the big difference is the walks. He walked 11 people in 20 innings in April, and in 13 innings he's only walked one. And the strikeout numbers are pretty similar rate. Actually, he's technically even striking out more people for 9. But like you said, I don't. That's not a super big priority for me. But he, even beyond the good ERA like run prevention performances, which have been real, he's him getting into deep into games, getting into the 6th and the 7th inning multiple times now. That changes everything for the team. He is our, what would you say, 4th starter?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was trying to think if maybe he would be third technically with Bobby out and Walker coming back. But yeah, in a healthy lineup, even in this rotation now with Walker back, he's the 4th starter. 4 starters getting you a 3.5 ERA, already incredible. That would be. I was just looking it up among qualified starters, which he technically isn't. But if he were qualified, he would be in the top 50 of for ERA. Which if you do like some mental math, the top 30 is every team's number one and going forward, like blah blah blah. That's like 2-3 level production from a 4-5 starter like that we have in his slotting. Already massive, but you need length from that position. You don't want five and dive guys. You don't want James Paxton giving you 5 innings because he walked 8 guys, which he's also corrected. And shout out to him too, just a little shout out. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. Attacking the zone, it gives you more time. And regardless of the preseason thought about the Dodgers infield defense, which was terrifying for a lot of people, they're actually the number one ranked team in outs above average, which is defensive metrics are tough, but that's one that's kind of like accepted as if there's a true like accurate one, that's what it is. And that just shows like the range and ability to make plays. And that's with Max Muncy at third base and Mookie Betts at shortstop. And so when you have that like sure defense, regardless of what Dodger fans might think about it, when you are a contact pitcher, which is get what Gavin Stone kind of transformed himself into just by attacking the zone so much, you get good results. That's why when Tyler Anderson was here a couple years ago, he was elite. Like, not even like his expected numbers were good because he was getting soft contact and the defense was elite, and that you get good results. Gavin Stone, I think, was trying to be the strikeout pitcher he was in Double A, or the one that made him rise through the ranks and be our number one pitching prospect. I think he was holding on to that a little too much because we did see his first game or two, he would go 4 innings but strike out like 7 guys. Like, oh, okay, strikeout numbers are there. But once that kind of flipped and it became, I just want to get as many outs as possible, that, I mean, that's where the production changed. He had a good start against the Braves. Like, he's played against teams that hit, and he still continued it. So yeah, sorry to take up so much of the time, but attacking the zone, that's the biggest thing for me. It's genuinely changed the outlook for him on the season.
Yeah, I think that's the most important point that you made. I love that you said that because we mentioned he struggled early on and he's just found his groove. I think he's transformed as a pitcher and found who he really is. So he's very very heavy on the fastball. His changeup's his best out pitch, and his slider, curve, both thrown 10% or under. So he's not really like this guy who's gonna throw 4 different pitches at like a 20-30% rate at all of them. He's a heavy fastball guy. But with those 2 pitches early on, I think he, like you said, that's why I love the point you made. He was trying to be that prospect, that high strikeout guy, and that's what led to the walks because he's trying to be so perfect, not attacking with the fastball, trying to get strikeouts with the changeups and all these different pitches. He's transformed himself now. He's going to attack the zone. Most importantly, because his fastball, it's not one of those pitches. We see this even with guys who throw hard. Honestly, probably more often with guys who throw hard, where they just destroy that fastball, and the hard hit numbers off it are crazy. He can attack the zone, not middle, but he with the control he's developed, he can attack the corners and get ahead with that fastball and throw strikes with that fastball. And the sinker has been a great, ground ball pitch. The changeup has been a great ground ball pitch. And like you said, he has a good defense behind him. The Dodgers have had so many pitchers in the past who just pitch to contact, and we get innings out of them, we get outs out of them, and we get good starts. He's really transformed into that. He's found his pitch mix. He found the way to attack hitters. It doesn't have to be walk strikeouts. We don't want a walk to strikeout guy from the 4 or 5. We want you to throw strikes, no walks, and get a lot of innings out of you. And he's done exactly that. And the fact that he's so young and he's only going to get better it's really feel really optimistic about him. And I like you said, frankly, I don't care about the strikeout numbers. Yes, you were the top prospect in the past, but you don't have to be that. You're going to be, for the next 5 years, you're going to be pitching behind Shohei, Glasnow, and Yamamoto, and Bobby Miller. And we'll see what happens with Buehler, with Kershaw. Just be yourself. You don't have to have high strikeout numbers.
Yeah, 100%. And with guys like that, we mentioned this a lot because it's real. Strikeouts are important just because it takes any in-play variability that might happen when balls are just live and anything can happen. Mookie might kick one, or I don't know, it could hit there's so much stuff that could happen if the ball's in play. But the reason I feel confident with Stone is because, first of all, he's not walking again, so bases are not always full. There's not a bunch of people on base. But 2, his hard hit percentage given up is 85th percentile. That's top 15% functionally. That's really big. And I think if he can get the sinker going more, because it's actually increased to now be his second most thrown pitch. I think the 4-seam was earlier in the year. Is number 2 earlier in the year. If he can keep the sinker going and get the ground balls rate up, because right now he's at 44% ground ball percentage, which means like 44% of the balls in play are ground balls. That's just right around league average. But because he's giving up such soft contact, even if the ball is in the air, he's not getting super touched up on it. So yeah, it's just, as much as striking people out is a skill, missing barrels, getting people to hit it on the weak parts of the bats, getting jammed, sawing them off, or having him floating outside, drawing weak contact is a genuine skill. And I think we need to appreciate that a little more. Because, again, average exit velocity is top 80%. Chase percentage, with the low strikeout, is still 75%. So his stuff is still there. People are chasing his pitches. They're just off balance, and it's nice. It's really nice what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm glad you highlighted those. For those of you who don't know baseball reference, he's the upper percentile, 85% hard hit, 80% average exit velo, and 75 chase percentage. That is perfect for a guy like him because the exit velo is not hard. They're not hitting the ball hard, and he's aggressive, so there's not a lot of walks. So he's aggressive through the zone, not walking people, but even when they hit it, they're not hitting it hard. And then if he gets to those two strikes, which he doesn't often because he's so aggressive through the zone, when he gets those two strikes, the chase percentage is there. So I think like the I don't know what his expected ERA is, but this isn't something where like he's just getting deep flyouts, hard contact. Eventually they're gonna tee off of him. No, I think like you said, this is an actual skill to get soft contact. His stuff because it's not easy to hit his stuff. He's not throwing 90 down the middle like
Yeah.
some of these old veterans that they would have a low ERA through 10 starts. This is different. This is good control, great skill, and there's real movement on the changeup and the sinker.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm thrilled about Stone.
Yeah, absolutely. Stone, just keep kicking it, man. This is like this is the second young guy, and again, hoping Stone continues, hoping Pages continues, which is the other young guy I was thinking about. They're kind of transforming the outlook for the season, especially the regular season, because the more innings we can get out of them, the more solid, legitimately good innings we can get out of Stone. It eases the bullpen back into like kind of finding the rhythm, which they have, and that has coincided with pitchers like Gavin Stone going deeper into games, and that's exactly what we've needed. So yeah, for Matthew, I'm Ryan with the LA Sports Brotherhood. Thanks so much for watching. Be back soon. Go Dodgers.